Hello friends, I am Dr. Awdhesh Singh and I welcome you to Awdhesh Academy. Friends, in the modern world, one of the greatest dilemma we face is how to select a guru or a spiritual guru. Because there are so many gurus all over the world and we follow some guru and thereafter we found that they are not the true gurus and rather they exploit you. And we see stories which are becoming very common in India where gurus are arrested for molestation, for usurpation of property, for criminal act, and so our entire belief on the spirituality and the spiritual gurus is broken. So we really want to know as to what may be the methods by which we can select a guru so that he can guide us and lead us to a better life. So today I am going to tell you 9 identification of an spiritual person. So if somebody is having these 9 identifications, these 9 marks, then that person is likely to be a great spiritual person and then you can choose him as a guru. Now first identification of a person is that if somebody is spiritual, there will be synergy between his words and his action. Now there are people who will be telling you that you should shun wealth, but at the same time they are having a luxurious life. So they will ask you to do something and they are themselves doing something else. Such people are not very reliable. So if you are really a spiritual person, your actions and your words are going to be in synergy with each other. The second important point is self-realization. When you meet a person and that person is profusely quoting from scriptures like Gita, Bible, Upanishad, Vedas, that person may be a great scholar, but that person is not spiritual. Let us make it very, very clear. A spiritual person's knowledge comes from within. For example, Gautam Buddha was a spiritual person because he did not quoted other scriptures. He has understood the secrets of this world, the spiritual domain of this world through his self-realization. And so a guru who is a truly a spiritual guru does not boast of knowing so many scriptures, does not quote from so many scriptures. Whatever he says is in a very simple word and that actually influences you because you find the truth in that words. The third important point is that a spiritual person is a very peaceful person. If you find that a person is agitated because the world is bad, because the people are not following the law, the politicians are bad, the businessmen are bad, is not the person who is actually fit to be a spiritual person. Because you have to understand that if we believe that this world is designed by the God, there is no reason why God will create bad world. If we are unable to understand why something is happening in a particular way, it simply means that we are not understanding the design of the world or the will of the God or how the world should be. So a spiritual person goes into the deeper level and he understands the world as it is. So he will have no complaints with the world and therefore he will have peace within and he will be able to see peace without. One of the very important characteristics of a spiritual person is that he is indifferent to his physical appearance. See, a spiritual person is not always, very smartly dressed or he is taking care of his physical appearances too much because he is not concerned with his physical appearance or the physical appearance of any other person. He does not judge a person by his clothes, by his designation, by the car on which the person is traveling. He is indifferent to all these physical things and that is very important characteristic of a spiritual person. The fifth important characteristic is that a spiritual person is an unconditional loving person. See, normally we all love some people and hate other people. And that type of love is a reflection of a material person who has the sense of right and wrong, who has sense of good and bad, and therefore when he finds that somebody is having a good qualities, he will like him or he will love him, and somebody who doesn't have those qualities, he will hate him. But a spiritual person loves everybody because he sees God in everybody and he sees goodness in everybody. So that is also a very, very important characteristic of a spiritual person. The sixth important characteristic is that a spiritual person always treat everybody as equal, and he do justice for everybody. See, Lord Krishna says in Gita that a wise man, by virtue of true knowledge, sees the equal vision the learned and the gentle Brahmin, a cow, an elephant, a dog, and even a dog eater or an outcast person. So a person who is truly an evolved person will not make a difference, not make a differentiation of the persons. He will see everybody with an equal eye. So somebody who considers somebody up and down, somebody who considers somebody good and bad, or give respect to somebody and doesn't give respect to somebody is actually not a spiritual person. The seventh important point of a spiritual person is that a spiritual person is devoid of passion. If you find a person who calls himself spiritual but he is full of passion, full of desires, full of activity, he is always working, he is a restless type of person. Now that person cannot be a spiritual person. And a spiritual person is a person who doesn't have much desires, who doesn't have much passion, who just move in a peaceful manner and does the thing in a very natural manner. That is the characteristic of a spiritual person. The eighth important point of a spiritual person is that he is having a humility. The world may be treating that spiritual person as a god, or the world may be treating him as a evolved person, but that person is actually having a largest amount of humility. He will treat everybody equal. He will be doing the humblest job, and he will consider himself lowest of the lower. And that is one of the very important characteristics of a spiritual person, that he will not have any ego, he will not have any arrogance, he will be most humble person you would have ever met in your life. And finally, the ninth important characteristic is that a spiritual person has compassion for all and he forgive all, because he understand all. There is a very famous French saying that to understand all is to forgive all. So in the same way, a spiritual person, because he understand everybody, he understand if somebody is doing something wrong, why he is doing something wrong, and therefore he will see to him as with compassion rather than with an anger. Now suppose somebody is sick, then you don't get angry with that person. You feel compassion for that person and pray that the person become well. In the same way, when he finds that somebody is doing wrong things in life, instead of getting angry on that person, he understands that that person is actually like a sick person. He is under the influence of negative thoughts. He is under the influence of bad circumstances. And that is why he is behaving in a negative manner. So he tries to cure that person rather than getting angry with that person. So a spiritual person will have compassion for everybody rather than having hatred, and he will be forgiving even if somebody does wrong to him or wrong to anybody. So these are the 9 characteristics of a spiritual person. If somebody is having these 9 characteristics, then you can follow him because he is really a master, a spiritual guru. And if you find that the person does not have these characteristics or missing these characteristics, then you should consider him a worldly person, and then you can learn from him but don't follow him as a spiritual guru. So I hope that you have been able to understand that how we can identify a spiritual person and follow him. Thank you very much for watching my video, watching my lecture, and please share your views in the comment section. Thank you.